Alright, we are okay, we'll need some regular brushes and some paint too.
What paint?
What colors do you want?
I don't know.
Oh goodness, I look awful. Okay, we'll just do this. Well, you get what you want and I'll get what I want.
Well, I don't know what we're doing.
Oh, like a wide and a flat. We're getting paint, y'all. Anybody there?
What?
Is anybody there?
2 people.
Oh, say hello.
Hello.
Alright. Is this better?
Yeah, because then I just get yours on over. I'll get mine. There's absolutely
Red.
no room.
I don't really have any red in here.
Oh, I saw some red down here. There's red down here. It's this one though.
Oh, that's
It's
metallic.
Oh, that's what I used.
That's okay. Just getting out some colors.
I don't see any other reds than another metallic.
My white is going to be gesso today. Do you need any orange?
No, my orange is good.
Okay.
3 people now. You need an apron.
Okay. All right. Who else? Anybody here?
Do you want me to put the chat on?
I know you can't see our faces, but I wanted you to be able to see our canvases. No, that's only for us. It'll come up. Just swipe it.
Put it down.
No, this. Okay, just come sit down. Say hello if you're here. Welcome. Sorry we've decapitated ourselves. We're gonna need this in the middle.
I don't know how we're supposed to do that.
We'll just have to show yours randomly. Hello, hello. We're doing it like this today. I wish there was a way to zoom out. Oh, hello, Christina. We are kind of at a weird angle today. We are,
We can do it.
so I've got out my painted canvas from yesterday. And we are making ourselves some space here.
I have an idea, but I'm
Got
not
some
sure if
paper
it'll work.
towels. It's gonna be too wobbly.
My brain is a thinking.
Yeah, it's fine where it is, babe. It's fine, not in the middle, we're already live. Not while we're live already, thank you.
It's kind of like a fit.
I understand. Okay, so what we will do you want to just prop it up a little bit? Okay, you're being so patient with us as we wait for a few more people on here. How are you doing up there, Christina? I haven't talked to you in forever. Or is this Zoe and Kyle watching? Oh, down a little bit. Down. Okay, that'll work. Yeah, okay. If it's Zoe and Kyle, hello. I have been in the yard all day, so I am looking pretty awesome, huh? We are getting all kinds of yard stuff done, along with school stuff. This is Jilly. And so, my name's Miss Christy. And so what we did on Tuesday, if you guys watched the video, I made a canvas using lots of random paint. I did some splatter, some texture with some shopping bags. I used some wine corks and rolled and painted those around. Anything I could find around the house to get some texture going. Oh goodness, I have something going across my face too. So, today we are going to turn this into something. And this is Jilly's. Jilly did some fun, so hers was an old canvas that she'd done when she was little that she didn't really care about anymore. You can see bits of it coming through in here, but that's okay. And she kind of started with more warm colors than I did. And then she went over top with some blue splatters, and then she let it run a little bit. So there's some drips on there, so that's super fun as well. Okay? And so today we are going to see what we could turn this into. And so there are lots of different ways to go about that. Sometimes I like to look at it, and if I don't already have an idea, I can look at it and say, do I see anything in there? And for me, I love flowers and things like that. So I always start seeing flowers. Welcome, Sherry. We're just getting started. And so if I were to look at this, I would automatically see I see flowers shooting out over here, maybe some over here, and things like that. So look at yours and say, does this just make me feel or think of anything when you look at it?
I see something in yours.
You see something in mine? What do you see?
I see fall trees.
Oh.
Like a little row of fall trees and like a little street. I don't know.
Oh, okay. So Jilly's seeing a bunch of trees, and then maybe that they're lining a street or some grass in here, or even a little river.
Yeah.
Everybody's interpretation can be different.
Because these are the leaves.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's little.
That's a fun.
You draw stems.
That's true. I like that too. Do you see anything when you look at yours?
I kind of see a summer lake.
Mm.
It could be a little lake, and then I could draw lily pads on it, the sunset reflecting off the lake.
Okay.
With some little algae in.
Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah, see, so, it could be anything, and sometimes it's even fun just to write some big letters. And you'll kind of see what we're going to do with that. So, if I see some things, I'm going to come in with, I'm going to actually use chalk today to draw mine, so that it's one of my favorite things to draw with on canvas. I just have some of my pastels here. And so I'm going to start finding those things. I also have been looking at a lot of, I almost feel like there's a rabbit or something peeking out of the field. I feel like this is a field of flowers to me. And then maybe there's this little bunny, poking out, so I was even looking up drawings of bunny heads. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just start can you see, I don't know if you can see that. Finding these flowers. And I'm doing it in blue, so it might be a little bit hard to see. But see those outlines? And see how they're just shapes? They're nothing particular. Maybe there's another one here. Maybe there's something here. I'm almost doing them like little hearts because I feel like I'm feeling very much like I want to do some tulips or something. What are you? Oh, you're doing some lily pads. Cool.
I just used so the original thing for mine was a big tree. It was like curly, and I just turned some of the curls into lily pads.
And then maybe I'll bring some big stems and then bring out some tulip type flowers. So can you see kind of how I'm doing that? I'm just drawing some big flowers. I'm leaving this space here because I think I'm going to do my bunny there. And I honestly, like for this is really just a fun kind of process type activity. So just for young kids and older kids and even adults. Like this is one of my favorite ways to start a project. And some of those bouquets of flowers that I do in my own art, often I'll start off with painted paper or just a whole collection of texture of paint and color in the background, and then this is one of the ways I look at it and see. Maybe you see just a big picture of a cat. Maybe you see your dog, and you can draw just a picture of the dog, okay? So then I'm going to turn this over a little bit. Well, so when I think about a bunny, I need a piece of paper. Can you get a piece of paper? Let's get rid of this paint from earlier. I wanted to show them how I would go about with a bunny. Over there. Or even my little set of can be a piece of paper, or yeah, that works. Okay, so how I'm going to do this is, did my phone come in? Nope. Can you guys even see this? I'm going to do it on the white so you can see. So I'm thinking about that this bunny is kind of peeking up. So I'm trying to remember my little... And this is just going to be his little head. Bunnies kind of have like a narrow noseway, and then his little cute little nose might be right there. You see him coming out that way. So this might be the shape of my little bunny face coming out of the corner. See that? Just wanted you to see how I drew that so you could slow that down. So maybe I'll come down here. Because I knew you wouldn't see it as much on here.
You did a lot of splattering.
I did, and then, so I did my blue background, and then I let that dry, and then I took like some yellow and some magenta, and I went over top of it, and then after I splattered, I again went and I smashed it, and I got rid of all the dots with my paper towel, actually. So, I don't know if you can really even see my little bunny in there. I got it. And then my flowers. But you'll see how this is going to work. So, I've got some white paint here.
Oh, I see what you're doing.
We're going to push the background back. Okay? So, I'm going to bring out some white. And I don't love things to be just plain white, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to kind of throw in some of these colors I already had. Maybe a touch of this. Oh, this one's got a big dried spot. And I'm using just what I had. Remember yesterday's is a great way to... This one has a big dried piece in it.
It's kind of disgusting.
It is disgusting, but it's kind of fun too. So I've got some other blues in here too.
Wait, where'd the other paper go? I thought there was some orange on that.
Oh, it's over there. I got rid of it.
He spilled it.
It's fine. Get some green for now. And then I'm just going to take a wide brush. Doesn't really matter if you have this size brush, that's fine too. And see how messy we're being today again.
It's not mixed.
Oh, you can mix it on the palette. Okay? And then I'm going to start coming in here and kind of finding these flowers.
Oh.
See, I'm going to start.
Like making all around it?
Yep. So I'm painting what is called the negative space. The things that are inside of what I have drawn is the positive space. But I'm only going to do it up here on the top. So you can see how I'm pushing that background back. I have a mix of white, mostly white, a little bit of turquoise and mint, because I don't want to use just one. I don't even know what that one was going for, but, and then I'm just going to kind of come in here and I'm loosely coming around all these shapes, and you'll kind of see as you go along. So, or if you had like maybe a big bold word, you could outline that, and then what happens is the background becomes soft and pushed back with whatever color you've got. So see how my flowers are starting to pop out? And I'm coloring in the top of it with the negative space. If you're doing this with little ones, you could let them even trace some shapes. Or just paint something else on top of it. Really, this is anything you want it to be, but this is how I go about getting really cool texture on some of my paintings.
I hang this up on my wall.
You are?
I think so.
And I'm also using something, so I noticed that mine was mostly pinks and oranges, and so I decided to come in on my background with something different, the opposite, like the blues and greens that I started out with, because I wanted there to be a sharp difference between those colors. See that? I wanted there to be a difference, so I noticed that overall mostly my picture was pink and orange. That was the dominant color. And then so I was like, oh, well, I'll go in with the opposite of pinks and oranges, which is blues and greens. Putting a little bit of this green in here. Jilly looks like she's pushing hers back with more orange than pink. Kind of still going with the same color, but...
I'm kind of like letting the background still peek through. So.
Okay. Now I'm going to come down here and I'm going to find my little bunny. Just the outline of him right now.
I want to do skipping stones, but I feel like it's going to be too much.
Well, you never know until you try, do you?
I'm going to add
love that lime green color.
It's pretty. Sorry. Trying to get the color.
This is something also I may come in with some, like I drew with my soft pastel. A little bit too much white there. That's okay. All right. So you can kind of see the silhouette of my bunny now coming out. See that?
Can I get more paint?
Yep. Okay. Got it? Okay, I'm just going to kind of come in here and very lightly now with these colors. Just because down in below where the flowers are next to each other, we wouldn't, it's not going to be as
Focus.
bold of a difference, right?
Let me do the edges too.
Okay. If you didn't see Tuesday where we made our painted canvas or paper or cardboard, some people were doing them on cardboard backgrounds, then you can go to my videos on this Facebook page, or I already uploaded it to YouTube, and the first video for this project is there to kind of guide you how I do a painted paper or a canvas, okay? I'm going to turn it around just a minute so I can kind of look and see where I'm at. Can you guys see that? And see, I can still see my pinks and my oranges, my texture, all that painting. It's kind of peeking through. It's just been pushed back by adding that paint, okay?
It's kind of like dry brushing.
A little bit. I'm going to come in here a little bit and add some of this so I can
This is how
see.
you paint.
What?
I said this is how you paint.
This is how you like to paint?
This is how I do
Up in the air, I know. And messy, my favorite way.
We needed messy art at school.
Yep,
That was
messy's
really
good.
Ooh. Ooh.
All right.
Did I get this edge?
Here we go.
I think I'm just about done.
Are ya?
Yep.
All right, me too. So can you kind of see the silhouette shapes of my flowers now? How they've popped out a little bit?
And then this one's mine so far. I'm doing
Tell about yours.
lily pads, and it's a sunset reflecting off of a lake.
So you're looking down at the lake?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So it's like she's up in the air or above at the edge looking down upon the lily pads.
You know, is it Van Gogh who did the lily pads?
That was Monet,
Okay, I thought
but
so.
close.
Claude Monet, kind of like the one where it's the lily pads. Kind of like that, but like different.
Right. Well, I know exactly what you're talking about. His was a little bit more of a landscape style, but he did different versions. Some were across his garden, and some were closer up.
The big one.
The big ones, yeah. Well, so we were really, really excited because all of Monet's work that's in a collection was traveling, and it came to San Francisco, and we got to go see it, and it was amazing. Oh, she loves your lily pads.
Thank you.
Miss Sherry. I don't have my glasses on.
I can read the comments.
Okay.
And not see.
I can kind of see them now.
It's reflecting.
Having one of those days. It was a gardening day because we're trying to get stuff done, and then what are you doing?
Making weird face.
And then, anyway, I'm a mess today, but that's okay. We're still gonna do art. Keeping it real here. This is real life. Okay, so now I'm just gonna kind of clean off this a bit. Remember, I like to clean off my brushes by painting on the paper towel first, and then I get it in this water. Because I'm going to use it in a second. She's using my paper towel. So are you going to... So the sun's reflecting out of the water,
The
I see.
sunset.
The sunset. It's like the sky is orange and pink.
Yes.
I get it. All right. So now... Oh. I'm trying to decide whether I want to come in with more pastels or to come in with markers. See, that's the problem. This is one of those projects that I kind of just decide as I go because it's whatever I'm feeling like. So that's what's so fun about it. Let's see.
I need some serious dishwashing.
Oh.
I didn't get.
Where is that red you had?
It's down in the cart right there. Do you want me to get it?
Please. I'm in need of
Ooh,
some
that
red.
looks pretty. Are you doing like poppies? Or just like flowers?
I'm feeling like they're tulips.
Should I give you some inspiration?
I'm good.
I have a tulip. Sorry.
Oh, she does have a tulip. Okay.
One of my
She's
best
got-
friends gave me.
Yes, one of her
My
friends
birthday.
dropped off tulip for her birthday.
I love tulips.
I do too.
They're
And then
beautiful.
I think I'm going to use my round brush now. And then we also could use, let's see.
I think I'm gonna go in with more pastels for my lily pads.
So Jilly's going to use pastels. I'm going to come in with some colors for some lines. So now we're going to come in. Hi, Miss Thomas. I'm going to come in now and do some lines with paint. Jilly's going to come in and define more of her lines with soft pastels. Kisses to you. We miss you. And so what I mean by that is we've got the silhouette shapes going of our leaves and our flowers and even my little bunny friend poking up down here. But I want to define them some more. So we need some material to come in and do some lines with. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So I'm going to do some paint. Jilly's going to use some pastels, which is one of my favorite. The soft pastels that we used for our Blue Dog project. Actually, can you go over there and see those little pouches of paint? Can you bring those to me? Because I'm going to need some other darker colors. And so that's what I'm going to kind of do now. Second container in on the wall. Let's say Artisa. Yep. I'm gonna use, did you use this? Are you bringing this brush to use, babe?
I brought that. Yes.
Oh, you did. Can I have a smaller brush for me, please?
Pants just made a popping sound.
It's okay. So,
Is this good for you or?
I'm gonna do it with some warmer colors. Nope.
Try it.
Nope. Smaller.
You can keep talking.
I know. Do you love pastels, Miss Thomas? Smaller, like the tip, like a fine, like you'd want to do details with. That'll work.
No, it's square.
It'll still work. It's small enough. She's trying to get me another brush. I thought I had a small one here, but I didn't.
You're a picky brush user.
But, well, actually it is pretty wide. It's fine. It's fine. It's gonna be fine, but you forgot my paint.
Oh, there's one right here. Oh, that's my paint.
I just need, what colors are over there? Like a red and a, maybe a yellow.
I don't see any paint packets.
The Arteza, the black plastic pouches. We're on the struggle bus today. That's what's happening. Just yellow and red.
This yellow is really pretty.
Yes. So I'm gonna pull out some lemon
I
yellow.
already have red.
I have the metallic red, but I like variety. I like to have a couple. So I'm gonna.
Variety. You haven't used that yet. You haven't used like a texture word yet.
I haven't used the word texture yet, Julie said.
And like.
Everybody knows that is my favorite.
Yay for.
One of my favorite things in art is to make lots of texture. So.
Miss Thomas says, "Yay for pastels."
Yes. So see what I've got going on here. These were the colors I went in with my background. This side was Jilly's. And so now I've got some red and some yellow and some other red. And I threw in a thing of dark blue just because to darken my red, I'll add a little blue because then it'll go into the purple range. And then it will be nice and dark. And I'm going to actually use some little bit of water. You're going to watch?
For now.
That's okay. So I'm just going to loosely come in here and start defining these a little bit. So if you think about tulips, they have kind of, see that? And I might paint them a little bit. I'm not going to totally paint them in though. And see how loose and rough I'm doing that?
Painting like this.
Get some more. So see how those are kind of coming together, but I'm still keeping their shape a little bit from the. This is totally more of an abstract way of coming in and outlining things and going about starting it in what, you know, a lot of artists would call in an intuitive way. I did my background just in an intuitive way. I just did what I felt like. I had no plan. I didn't even know on Tuesday what I might do with those flowers. I mean, that background. I was just playing with color. And then today we came in and re-looked at it, and I decided that I saw. Well, I had been really inspired. I've been looking at bunny stuff. I don't know why. I don't even want a bunny, but pictures of bunnies, and and like I follow a lot of artists, and so. Here's a much. Oops, I got some white in there that I didn't necessarily want, but that's okay.
I think I'm gonna put a flower on this lily pad.
Okay. All right. I think I need one. I need one down here too, so you can see how those flowers are a little bit taking shape. Coming in here. Now I'm going to bring in a little bit of yellow with that red, and that's going to make a really pretty orange color. And I'm not doing it solid, as you can see. When I get closer, you can still see all those splatters.
Ooh, that's pretty green.
What kind of green did you make? Oh, here, chalk pastels, softs.
Yeah, I'm using a little bit of variety green because the sun's hitting.
And you can see how fast and I'm just putting in some color. You could even, would be fun to do this with your hands, do finger painting. Okay?
What was that guy?
So then I've got a little bit of
painting that you showed me? The guy who did was it in Galapagos? We got one of his little sunset ones, and he did it with all his fingers.
I think I showed you that online. It was like a street artist in New York or something. She's talking about I'm always like looking at different artists, and then there was a street artist in New York that
very talented.
did these beautiful sunsets with finger painting, and so
waterfalls too.
oh yeah, and waterfalls. It's kind of like those. I'm gonna move this in front of me, so since you're not using it right now. So Auntie Kim just... Oh, hi, Allie. Signing in on Aunt Kim's. We are working on finishing. So the other day we painted a background with lots of texture. And now I'm just kind of coming in. Now I'm going to come in here with a little bit of green in these leaves. I don't want to totally... I'm not covering up the splatters totally though, because I don't want them to, I love that texture, but I just needed a little bit of green in there, some definition for those, so I'm kind of mixing a yellow and that dark blue to get a green. Okay, coming in here.
I actually really like this.
It's a fun way to create, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm not always so confident in that.
It's another great way to, like, if you get intimidated by the blank piece of paper, this is a great way to push back through that. And especially, you know, I had a mom messaging me this morning, and her little girls had made, had done a bunch of splatter and ideas on board, I think, or heavy paper on Tuesday, but she had them use tempera, and then of course it faded, just depending on the quality, it faded a little bit and curled, and she was worried about them using it today, and I was like, oh no, use it. One, you can flatten it out, and she wanted to then also transfer to acrylic, and I was like, no, use it, because that's how they learn. That's how you learn. And that still allows them to play with the art that they've made and use it in a way. And it's, you know, you obviously started out with heavy paper and tempera, so you weren't going for archival, sellable, museum quality art here. We're just playing and creating. This is definitely a playing project. And so we're doing it that way. I'm going to come in here with a little bit of blue too, for some dark.
I have finished.
You finished?
Yep. So this is my outline. Right here, I did the outline of the lily pads in like this darkish green and this lime green, and I did a flower with pinks and reds.
Oh, yesterday, Tuesday was Miss Thomas's birthday. So happy birthday to Miss Thomas.
Oh, I forgot Sophia and Miss Thomas had the same birthday.
Yes. So happy birthday to you. Hope Charlie and Tito, or your dog, spoiled you.
Dog
so see how those are coming? I'm liking that a lot.
That looks pretty.
What do you guys think?
Is his ear hiding behind
Sherry
one
loves
of the flowers?
Yeah, so his one ear is going to be kind of behind the flowers.
Thank you.
And I might even, feeling like this space needs some green. Yeah, it's kind of a cool,
limey green.
Some other, it was looking a little open, so I'm going to come in here with some stalks of grass. And then
I need to do some art in cool colors. I do a lot of my art in the warmers.
Oh, well, that's what you're drawn to. I tend to be drawn to
cool colors.
Very cool colors, blues and greens. So see how I'm just coming in here and randomly putting a little bit of some grass. So let's put some over here. Putting some navy in there for some depth, some darks. And I still will come back in with some white, some lights to highlight stuff.
Sherry says,
Okay.
beautiful tulips.
You like that? Super fun. This is actually like, if I was to describe like my technique per se, or this would definitely be a modified version of how my art is. As in, like, I'm just making it a little bit more doable for y'all. I would come in with lots of layers of paint and other supplies, but I wanted to do something that might be fun for families without getting super technical. And it's kind of nice that I'm doing it backwards, because then I can see in my screen where I'm, I'm always telling people step away, because you can tell much better what it's missing. There we go. Cool, huh? All right, so let's give this bunny some life. I actually probably, is there like a dark brown over there? I see some Liquitex up top with some brown. All right, is anybody painting along, or are you all just watching? This is kind of a fun one to watch, so that when you go to do it, you can just play and not have to repeat. This is not one that's as easy to just repeat. I want the dark. Because I am going to do his eyes a little bit more detailed and black. Is there black over there?
There's that's silver.
All right. One of those pouches should be black.
This is Mars black.
Yep, perfect.
It's like a Warner's black.
And I'm going to mostly leave my bunny pink, meaning the splatter texture. Just kind of going to define parts of him. Okay?
You just put your paint thing on.
Sorry.
Sherry's watching and dreaming of what she's going to do.
Oh, musical notes for Luke's room. That would be amazing. Because I saw, so Sherry shared hers earlier on the page. Sherry put her photo up today of her painted background, and so did one of my students, Sophia, who is probably watching right now. We're going to watch the replay. And so I'm so excited to see what becomes of that, because Sherry's is kind of, it's moody and dark, but it has some fun splashes of color. So they'll be super fun to see what you guys decide that you see in there.
Oh, you.
I'm going to give him a little nose. I just don't want him to look like a scary bunny. And all this chalk, if I want, at the end, when it's all dry, it can just be wiped away. So I'm going to put like, just the idea that there's a little bit of a inner part of his ear, and this ear is kind of hidden around. But I don't want him to be like a super dark bunny, so I'm going to come in here with some white, I think. And I hope this isn't where I ruin my whole thing. Because that's happened.
I just got yellow.
That's okay. Because he's a rainbow bunny anyway.
Mm-hmm.
You can tell I started with my darker colors on purpose, because once I start coming in here with this white, it's hard to do the darks until it's totally dry.
Am I supposed to be filling it in?
No, you don't have to.
I kind of do, though.
And you can, since you use soft pastels, if you want to do, paint and pastels, because I very well may come in with some of that light, use some white pastels to do my highlights.
Oh, these two look pretty together.
So,
Look at this. These two look
hello, Sarah. We are just kind of finding what we can find in those chaos layers, the painted background that we did yesterday, and I felt like I saw tulips and maybe a little bunny peeking up.
Oh, this was your round brush. You
This
stole
is-
my round brush.
Wait, it's because I thought you weren't going to paint.
That's okay.
Okay. So I'll probably define this a little more later. It's hard to...
Do we still have round brushes?
Can't always paint upside down.
Little kit right here. Oh,
And I'm also going to give him a little...
it's perfectly fine round brush.
He needs a little spark in his eye to... Little reflection. That's what makes your eyes come to life a little bit. So there's the beginnings of a little bunny in there. I could spend forever on that, and maybe I'll play with it a little later, but I just want you guys to get the idea. Oh, you could do that, Sherry. Sherry was thinking of working some sheet music into that, and so if you were going to adhere that, you could use, well, if you have any medium, like matte medium or even gloss medium, that would work. Mod Podge is a cheaper version of that, which would work as well. Just using a thin layer and then rubbing it with your fingers so it's not too soupy, you know, because you don't want it to be too wet. And then you could, you know, rub off the excess and then let it dry. And then you could even paint over it as well. And do a whole nother layer of, you know, color. You could keep going with layers. Some artists work with layers forever. So I'm going to come in here with some white, a little, oops, that was not white, that's yellow. Come give some highlight a little bit to some of these.
I'm proud of this.
Flowers, maybe up here. Give them some shape on the upper side where the sun may hit. That's a little bit too much. That's okay. That's why we have fingers, right? For rubbing, painting. That's why I have fingers. I'm good. That helps Sherry. And if you need some, actually, Sherry lives around the corner from me. I have a bunch of medium, both heavy and thin, and I could put a little bit in a cup and work that out with you.
Smaller ones are harder to do.
So. That helping those flowers. This one's too liney. I'm going to come in here and smear some paint on him. Okay. So that's, I'm going to probably let this be a little bit and then come back and look at it later. How are you doing, Jilly? Jilly's going in with paint now because she looked at it and changed her mind, and that's perfectly...
But I like the pastel layer. Adds like a little...
I love the texture of pastels. So if they're using oil pastels, sometimes that gets tricky with painting over it, but
I think it looks cool.
so I'm just going to give some of these blades of grass a little bit of a highlight. See that? How it's all coming, getting a little poppier.
Oh, I never put oil pastel on this one. That's okay.
Okay. And we will maybe post our results when we're done. Maybe I'll put a little bit of red on this bottom of those leaves. What's that? That looks cool too. The red on the bottom, on the edges of these leaves, because the red complements the green and helps the green to
Do little speckles of like algae.
pop, okay? Alright, friends. I can't wait to see what you do. I will get this video up on YouTube as soon as I can. so that you guys could watch all of it if you need to.
I'm gonna do some.
All right, there we go. He looks a little angry, like we disturbed him in his little tulip field. Okay? Shoot me any questions that you have or think of, and we'd be happy to help you out. And we will post our finished pieces when we're done playing with them. Thanks for joining us, everyone. You're welcome, Miss Sherry. Oh, Jilly wants to show hers.
This is my finished one.
So hers are coming together a little bit. Let's see.
And put more green in the ones at the top. Do you want me to turn it off?
Yes, please.